let's get on to some, since while we're on techie stuff, this is techie, I think, don't you?
Yep.
It's automotive and techie. I like it. I like when we have stories like this, man. So you're a Call of Duty fan, aren't you? You ever play it? You guys?
I used to play it a lot. I have not played the most recent game. This is a game franchise that's been around for decades.
Right.
And the newer stuff I haven't played as much. They're fun. They're shooters. They're first-person shooters, FPS, and not to be confused with frames per second. And
right.
Call of Duty for a very long time has been the premier shooter game on all the consoles: Xbox, right. PlayStation.
Yeah.
So, and I think there's a PC version of it too.
Yeah, and they're notorious for featuring awesome vehicles.
It's military. Yeah. And so Jeep did this a few years back where there was a Call of Duty edition of the Jeep. I think it was the Sahara. I'm not sure. But it had the branding on it. It was a limited edition run. It had Call of Duty designs on it. And so the game franchise has done this before. This isn't their first endeavor. To my knowledge, this is their first endeavor with an EV manufacturer.
Right. Yeah, it is. I watched the commercial, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's no different than any other than what's at the end of it. But they're jumping out of the back end of a cargo plane.
Yep.
Parachuting, and along with this big crate that parachutes to the ground. They all get to the ground, of course, and lo and behold, we have a Hummer EV come out of it.
Yeah, and it's playable, which means you can drive that vehicle in the game.
Yeah, and it's fast. They're giving you controls that simulate what this vehicle would truly do on the road. And I will say that this is something that Duncan Aldred said, who is actually the vice president of Global Buick and GMC. He says the GMC Hummer EV Pickup is truly the world's first all-electric supertruck. And I need to clarify that because they are not the world's first EV all-electric pickup truck.
That's Lordstown. Sorry, couldn't help it.
Trophy there goes to Rivian. Rivian would be the first all-electric pickup truck. They did beat everybody to that. But I like the way that they framed this as it being a super truck. I don't disagree with that. It is a monstrosity. It's a lot bigger than the Rivian is, I think. It just has that more of an off-road feel to it. It is a Hummer. That's what it's designed to be, off-roading. And I told you when we podcasted about this thing coming out a few years ago, we learned that they were coming out with a Hummer EV.
Oh, we've seen it in person. It's...
In fact, you guys can watch that video over on youtube.com/Parts Counter Gurus, where Keith takes us through a nice little trip through the Hummer EV pickup truck that they had there. They also had an SUV version of that there. Wildly popular booth that day. Got a free T-shirt out of it, which was cool. And thank you for all the emails, GMC. Now, right?
That's why I never used my real email.
I should have used my alter ego. But it's a really cool ride. It caught the attraction and attention of a lot of people, and I frankly was quite impressed with it myself. There's a lot of technology in this vehicle, and I said way back when we learned it was going to be happening, if I'm GMC, I would be going after the military with this thing because it's a perfect
well, that was the original Hummer.
Correct.
That was its intent.
And then, of course, you're going to have arguments that, well, it's an electric vehicle. How can you do that? There are ways. They have, military has generators. It might be gas-powered generator, but they have generators. So, just saying. But it is a very nice vehicle, and it's cool to see it come into pop culture like this. It's an iconic game. And I honestly feel the same way as these guys do, that it is probably the best suited for this thing. I think, and it'll be this October the 28th, and it's going to be in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2.0.
I would bet you, Jay, we will see some mention of this at SEMA, because that happens the week after this drops.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would bet you we will see a call out to this very product partnership there somewhere. I know GM isn't officially at SEMA,
right?
But
they can have displays. Yeah. They may not be bringing the big crews like they have in the past. Ford's not going to be there as well, but they do all say that there will be some presence of some sort there, but not like it has been. Just to kind of give you the history on how well this thing is done, and everybody, they were kind of not necessarily on board with it initially, but it's very popular. The Hummer EV, since its release in early, was it last year? I think it was early, mid-year last year before SEMA.
Right.
But in early July of this year, it was revealed that there was more than 77,000 people on the list for EV pickup and EV SUV models. If that doesn't say how much this thing is being anticipated, I don't know what does, especially with the price tag this thing has.
Yeah, $100,000-ish.
100 grand and over.
But they got to deliver here, man. I mean,
well, they do.
We've been sitting and waiting for a while, and it's great that you're marketing this and putting it in games. And if you have that many on back order, do you really need to be marketing for more of them until you can start to deliver? I don't know. I mean, I'm not running the company, but
right. I mean, that seems to be the trend these days with a lot of these new EVs and
sell more than you have, and then figure it out later.
We've said it. The business model.
By
is
the way,
changing.
Everybody buy us out of hats over on our YouTube store shelf.
One of these, yeah, we have here, right here.
Yeah.
So, anyway, congratulations to GMC on the Hummer EV going to the gaming side of the industry, and we will keep you posted if we see something at SEMA. We'll definitely cover that. And October the 28th, this version of this game comes out, so go get you some.